Hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live in the Full Speed Events studios. We're currently in the old farmhouse studios and we have some light. Not actually a lot, I'm just doing a little bit tricky with the camera to make it happen. It's Women's Only Wednesdays on the Donny Chaingang, aka the WOW DCG, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is one of my least favourite routes to race on. It's one of Emma's favourite routes to ride on and to a race on, and which is why I guess she's picked it for the WOW DCG. Before we go any further though, first of all, please guys remember, support the people who support the guys on the gang. 1080 OTE Gritty, Velasquez, Halo, Nonas, and of course Continental, because it is Continental month here. It is February, and without Continental support we couldn't make the Chaingang happen. And I've got to say, we've got a giveaway coming up. Should be tomorrow, it may be Tuesday, depends on how fast we could get everything sorted. Five pairs of brand new fresh launch tyres going to be going out to members of the DCG gang. Going to be coming out straight away to you. They're in stock and they're going to be heading your direction. So make sure that you're watching your emails. That's going to be coming out. Joining me in the studio today, but off camera today, for no other reason particularly than I couldn't be bothered to make the camera work. It really is straightforward. You can hear a cackling away in the background. It is the one and only Emma Marty. So, Matt Payne, this is Emma. Emma is literally over there.
She's am indeed.
Literally there. However, you can see her up on your screen as well. So, Emma, of course, rider, racer, coach, DS, and the person who picks the routes of the DCG for the women's route. So, Emma, you better run us through the map, because these Swift hacks.
Yeah, tonight we are on the volcano circuit. As Matt said, one of my favourites to train on and to race on. So the lead in tonight is 2.8 kilometres. We are then down for 10 laps of the volcano circuit. So you will get 2 badges if you've not got your 5 lap or your 10 lap badge of the volcano. We will finish tonight at the banner at 43.9 kilometres, and then there is our normal warm down to the blue banner that signifies the end of the event, and that's a 1.1 kilometre warm down tonight.
And that elevation soon tots up. It's not all that much, is it? But only 20 metres per circuit with 20 metres on the run out. But it'll soon add up because we've got those 10 laps in there. So key numbers are 10 laps, 43.9 being the finish.
And the course is a good one because that little kicker is a determinant of where you can put your effort in if you don't want to wait for a sprint. So I like this route because I think the finish is going to be really interesting.
Well, let's take a little bit of a check out of the profile. You can see basically it's really similar route. This doesn't matter which way round you do it. It is essentially the same kick, the same run in, the same distance into the volcano to the start finish point. Pretty much it's slightly different whichever way round, but you're going from sea level, which is bottom left by the Velo Viewer graphic, right the way up to the top, but not exactly the hilliest circuit that we're going to use, but it's good fun when we've got the gang. So a big thank you to the team at Velo Viewer. We're going to move on to our beacon. So our yellow beacon is Lisa Jane Lake. Very experienced rider, Emma.
Yeah, our experienced rider and experienced yellow and red beacon as well on the WOW DCG.
Maybe the most prolific beacon on the WOW DCG, with the exception of yourself, because you've got a head start on people.
Is that because I had a year or so's head start?
Yes, basically. She's catching up quick, though. So Lisa Jane Lake going to be our yellow beacon. Our red beacon, it is the one and only Maz Herfrom. Maz is going to be in charge of sweeping up those riders so they make their way around. If anybody gets distanced, and Maz, another very experienced rider, and a cracking racer as well in her own right. Rides for the Aeonian team as well, if I'm not much mistaken.
Yeah, she does indeed, but in real life often to be seen around mud.
often indeed to be seen around mud. Well, our riders are lining up on the start line, so let's dive across to the riders on the right, because they are going to be getting ready, and this is the key moment, isn't it, Emma? This is where the riders really do need to make sure they get this absolutely dialed.
Yeah, they do indeed, but nice and steady away, and our yellow beacon. There's only one real rule on the WOW Donny Chaingang: stay around yellow.
Stay around yellow, stay around yellow, stay around yellow. Wait until the trigger point, which is the, let's say, the go, go, go. We'll say it once and once only, because, well, with the clock's not running.
Now, if I'd have done that, oh,
you would have been told
me.
off. Perils of being voice 2 and voice 1. There you go.
Yeah, but everybody rolling out and getting a clean start there by the looks of that. Everybody who needs to be off the line is off the line. Just us as a commentary team left in that start box. So that is indeed us, but everybody away and smoothly away by the look of that.
Yeah, and remember, of course, the key here is to get everybody together. Just having a little look at Stark from Sweden, just going on there. So just going to get a little assistance. I can see our red beacon already starting to drop back to just give that little bit of help. It's going to be key, isn't it, to get that assistance in early, or that gap is just going to grow.
Yeah, it is at that wattage. It is going to grow, but we do have, let's remind everybody, we do indeed have a late start on the WOW DCG. So for 30 minutes, if you have a technical problem, if you have an issue, if you find yourself gapped off the back, and the push to get back into the group is too much, drop out, drop back in, and if you are pedaling when you re-enter the event, you will drop straight into the main pack.
So the climb up here, it is a tough little start on here, isn't it? Because we start making our way up the climb here, and looks like start just dropping the watts there. So Maz is going to need to push on there. He'll be keeping an eye in the rear view mirror at 0.1. A rejoin, I think, for Stark would be good. So Tina, do a rejoin. It'll be quicker, easier, and now Maz will have to chase onto the back of the group, and I think Jane Halliwell is the last rider in the group.
Yeah, so our red beacon now pushing on to get back into the group. She's got her watts up to around 3.5, and she is now chasing back in.
So for those people who are just joining us, the aim of the ride is to create a ramped workout. If you wonder if that is possible, don't worry. Go onto the Facebook page, have a look at the feedback from the last WOW DCG, because the ramp was absolutely superb. I think it was Emma Gilbert who posted her
heart rate.
Her heart rate just going.
Yeah, it was an absolute. You could not have drawn a better, more perfect example of a ramped workout heart rate chart over the time of the WOW DCG.
No, indeed, it was really a good scene. Now, the riders at the moment are making the way in through the tunnels. We'll go for the nice scenic view, shall we, whilst we have this great shot in through the side of the tunnels here. And you can just see the gang just pretty much holding together. The red beacon still chasing to get in. Looks like Tiff Fletcher just distanced off that group a little bit. A very competent rider, Tiff, as the red beacon Maz chases back up to the group at the moment. So continuing to push the way in and through. Our riders will be heading out on to the circuit, and this is where we're going to see whether they're going to go right or they're going to go left. Always an interesting
I hope
moment.
they all go in the same direction tonight.
I don't care
no
which way
glitches.
they go. As long as they go the same direction, they've all gone left.
Excellent. And the red beacon has gone left as well. So absolutely first
Class.
Yes, that was probably the word I was looking for.
Yeah, first class. Great phrase.
Do you know, I really wish I was in here today, actually, on my bike riding this. I love this circuit. But not to be this evening.
No. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this circuit.
Really?
Yes. Because when I'm going well, I absolutely love it, because you can really stick it to people on the climb. And then you can push onto the drag into the gantry top. But, and it's a big but, when you're not going well, or you're not really, really in front of on top of your game, or somebody's just going that little bit better, it is absolutely purgatory.
Oh, now you see, I'm going to say something really that you're going to find quite sad. I'm going to say I love this circuit for doing 5-minute intervals on. Because it's it's 1 lap on, 1 lap off,
Just swear
1 lap
live
on,
on air.
1 lap off.
Did you use the I word live on air? Intervals.
I know,
Oh my goodness.
but I used to really love doing that, and I'm looking forward to doing that again.
Well, yes. Me just go. Yeah, no.
I knew he wouldn't be going for that.
No. Give me a race any time. Training, no. Just go racing first. It's much more fun.
Yeah, so
You're gonna go
warm
do
up
something.
going on really well here as they come to the end of that lead-in and they go out on their first lap.
They do indeed. 10 laps, guys. So it's 10 laps. This is lap numero uno, aka number 1. It looks like Maz is about to make contact.
It
Come
is
on, Maz.
indeed. Come on, let someone drop back a little bit and just give her a toe on. She's
doing-
worked her socks off there to
It's
get
doing
on.
about 5 watts per kilo to just get on. It is tough stuff being Red Beacon. There's no other word for it. But the group coming through, looking good at the moment. I love the fact that Maz is now a number and not a name.
Well, that would have been because she would have done a time trial recently, and she would have been number 5 out of the 6-woman squad that she would have been racing
On
in.
their start order.
On their start order. So that is why she is 5.AEO.
Yes. I am not a number. I have a name. I am not a number. Yeah, only you are, Maz. A number. There you go.
Just for this evening. I'm sure
Right.
she will change it back.
The riders on the descent down, making the way down towards the sweeping right-hand turn. The gang all together again. The back on the road once again. Great to see everybody back in here. Should we do a run through of names and people?
Yeah, let's have a little look who's in.
Let's have a little look. Shall we go?
Power up each. Yeah, you will get a power up each lap. Just remember
Yes. Sandra McKay, super speedy Sandra from Tactic.
that. Oh.
I'm going to do random hitting the buttons because it's just easier. Ursula Jordan, and this is where we find out who I don't know the first names of. Ursula Jordan in here. Pip Morn I've just seen. Now, new rider, Steen Haugsdal. So Steen Haugsdal in here from Norway.
Hey,
Great to have
excellent.
you in here.
Fabulous.
Welcome to the Donny Chaingang. I hope you're going to have a great ride, enjoy it, have fun, then watch it back later. Always entertaining. It's going to be Adela Suster, I think, if I'm correct, in here. Adela, another of our riders, improving week on a week. I've got a yellow beacon. Here we go. Right, I am randomly pressing these buttons. It is the one and only Lisa Jane Late. There we are. Front and centre in on the yellow Pinarello with a nice. That's a nice yellow trimmed kit. That's almost like my kit in real life, actually.
And look, I'm loving the fact that the blue is picked up in. Oh, look at the shoes.
Do you know what? I need that kit because that's almost like my kit.
That
in
is
real
actually
life.
like your in real life kit,
Yeah.
but it's not like your in real life bike.
It's not like my real life avatar either, to be honest. I think Lisa probably weighs just a little bit less than me. Right. Riders coming round that left-hand turn. Looks like pretty much everybody together. Should hit some more random people.
Yeah, let's have a little look
Josie
who else is in the
Park.
pack.
So Josie in here. Where's Josie? Should we do a proper actually be able to find Josie? Josie is in the. I'm trying to think of the colour for that.
I
Good
almost
job
said-
nobody can see.
Well,
see
I'm looking at it
Emma's
thinking,
face.
would you call it peach? Would you call it salmon?
No,
Salmon?
it's like peach Melba, isn't
Well, yeah, salmon. Maybe. I really couldn't tell you what colour that was.
it? No.
Any artists in the house tonight want to give us an indication of the palette colour of that jersey? Would be really good.
Pip Morn. Pip, another of our regulars on the Chaingang. Pip in here, running on the aero frame, and nice wheels for this circuit, I always think.
Yeah, they are indeed good.
Because
Good
it's
bike
a
choice.
substantial amount of climbing actually on the way through.
It is really deceptive, the amount of climbing on 10 laps tonight. So yeah.
This not necessarily the best option. Ooh.
I'm having a ponder on that one.
I love the fact that Emma has a ponder, pulls a face, and then she's not on camera.
Well, yeah.
It's really good on the radio.
I
Well
have to think
done.
about that one, won't I?
Right, in with Vicky Jones, another of our super fast riders. Vicky was on absolutely flying form last week. It was a cracking ride by Vicky. I thought she was going to take that victory. Not to be, of course, because of course the victory last week
Went to Daisy Fair.
She did do an absolutely storming ride, Daisy.
Timing was fantastic for Daisy last week, and
Yep.
she really got that nailed.
Superb. So next up is going to be Elizabeth Wonder in here. So Elizabeth on the gang in the Wahoo kit. So the Wahhooligan blue kit there, just on the right-hand turn. We've already hit Josie already. It's just how it randomly pops in. It gets this case of diminishing returns here, because as I randomly hit stuff, we're about to hit somebody who we've already got if you go through everyone. Next up is going to be the one and only Joanne Lee. Joanne in the kit there, the nice purple and mauve kit. There you go, almost lavender coloured, with a nice touch of an almost cerise pink in there too. The full navy cap.
Which,
and
of course, is
lavender coloured
all
socks.
the Rafa 500 kit, isn't it?
It is. So the riders on the way through. Joanne Lee, one of our regular riders, and hope to bump back into Joanne at Newark for the Elite
Yes,
Crit Series.
for the Crit Series again. That would be good, wouldn't
Hoping
it?
to be there. Hoping to be on the mic, hoping to be there, hoping it's going to take place. It's a very difficult event space in the world at the moment. So we had Vicky Jones, we had Nicola Soap. Nicola, of course, one of the Tactic UK racing. Have we mentioned before on any of the rides, by any chance, that the Tactic race kit is the best colour kit on the? Maybe we haven't. If you haven't seen it, go onto their social media feed for the Tactic UK women's race team, the WRT. It is definitely, in my humble opinion, and I do know the difference in here. Matt, hi. Joe, say hi. Okay.
And have we, of course, mentioned that one of the Tactic race team competed for their country in the Esports World Championships?
Which was?
Lou Bates.
Very good. Indeed. Although the Ionian squad has somebody competing in the World Championships,
I think
didn't they?
Well, actually, there were 7 AEO riders, I think, from 7 different countries competing in the World Sports. And, of course, Lowe's took the win again for the 2nd year running.
Yeah,
But,
she's got that absolutely down, hasn't she?
She
Now,
has indeed.
we have another Fletcher. It's not actually, it's the same Fletcher. Tiff Fletcher is down as B Fletcher. I don't know if she's just changed the name by default to British Cycling Talent 2 Fletcher, or just because she's left it in there. But she's now B.
Yeah,
But you can call yourself whatever you want on Zwift. I'm Matt Fixer Payne, the abusive nickname that's been on there for a while. Okay. Right. But do you know what? Everybody's just riding around.
I
They're
know.
doing a really good job. No one's getting dropped. They're all like a big group.
it's a nice bunch, isn't it?
It's rather different to last night's Muppetry, I have to say.
Well, you know, the WoW DCG always rolls well.
It does. Claire Crafter in here. Claire in the black and white. Yes, it is. Claire in the black and white kit there. Just diving inside somebody. Oh, and we have got the one of the best kits on the avatars here, and I'm going to try and get them.
You mean the Ionian kit?
No, it's almost better.
Ooh!
Oh, in fact, I do
Oh,
like it.
you
the
like the
socks
socks
for what?
Watts, don't you?
Well, it's got a unicorn on it. It says a woman who's got a toy unicorn in her car.
Oh, Derek! Derek's
Yeah.
been in my car for years. Derek was a present from some very lovely young ladies who I regularly used to mountain bike with and used to come to coaching sessions.
Oh, right, okay.
And they gave me Derek to sit in my car. He's a unicorn keyring, and he lives in my car. My car's called Sandra, so Sandra and Derek live together.
Okay. Well, yeah, Derek lives in Sandra, which is quite weird.
Well, he lives in the ashtray, actually.
Yeah, just really wrong. I see Maz knows who Derek is.
I know, Maz does know who Derek is. Derek and Sandra.
Yeah, quite worrying. I have a car.
Does
it's
anybody,
called...
do people not name their cars?
Mine's not anything that's printable. It's not broadcastable, that's for sure.
I thought everybody called their car something. Give it a name.
Complete and utter useless bleep is probably not what we ought to be saying on the show, but that's what my car is regularly called. Only your bike.
Only a bike. Yeah, and I see my bike is unimaginatively called Pinky.
That's because it's bright pink.
Yeah.
In fact, it's the colour of Megan Boyd's kit.
It is indeed exactly that colour. My in real life bike is the same colour as Megan's kit.
Megan, of course, another of our regular riders, in with us once again. Good to see Megan in here. Just rolling the drone right the way through the mountain there. Don't worry about it. It's indestructible, this drone. Thank goodness. Okay, let's have a little look. We have, of course, got Jessica Oates in here. So Jessica in the traditional RCC kit there. And looking pretty smooth on the way through at the moment. Yeah, 65 revs per minute. Not breaking into a sweat, I don't think, isn't Jessica?
No, heart rate sitting at 138 looks quite comfortable there.
So this is now where we try and play who haven't we tagged it on the way through, and can we get them with the mouse? Probably not. I am trying for, yes, there we go. Hella backhouse.
Ah, indeed.
In the Aeonian kit, which of course is obviously your favourite kit of the entire worldly kit ever on the non in real life. In fact, you've got.
Well, I have that in real life.
Yeah, you have indeed. Multiple bits, and I think you've got. Have you got a goat coming as well?
Oh yeah, I've got one of the baby Nicks coming in, a little baby Ionian kit. How
So,
cool is that?
A cuddly toy
In Aeonian race kit.
Race kit.
Oh, I know.
That's just randomly weird.
Oh, it's just absolutely brilliant. It goes with the car called Sandra and the keyring called Derek.
And I get called the mad one. Oh, Izzy Torrey is with us.
Hey, she's jumped in. She's
Hello,
made
Izzy.
it.
It's Izzy Torrey. Izzy's been out mountain biking and doing all sorts of great stuff, I noticed. And she did the Lady Bath Skyline the other day.
Oh, I know.
Great place to go.
Absolutely.
I'm just working on hitting Izzy at some point. About now. There we go. Another ride on the Aeonian kit. We've gone for the Uranium bike. That's one of the really quick bikes, actually.
There you
Now,
go.
it's surprisingly fast for something that's got a boxy, basically a boxy seat down tube. It's quite a boxy frame. John Lee, now we are in trouble. Yes, look, Joe Blackmore's fine. Although I suspect Joe is saving her legs for tomorrow, because of course tomorrow is the Team Time Trial, is it not?
Yeah, there is indeed a Community Worlds Team Time Trial tomorrow night. Lots of different squads will be racing in that, and lots of different teams.
They're in Scotland.
Do you know what? Because I'm not DSing tomorrow, I've not. I shouldn't say this out loud, should I? I haven't actually looked yet where it is.
Well, you don't need to.
Well, I might be interested.
Okay. It would probably be good to know these things.
But one of the things that we will note tonight is that ZRL has finished. So the Tuesday Night Race League has finished until the finals in March. So we should have some riders tonight with much fresher legs than normal.
Ooh, yeah, that could be entertaining. But some people may be saving them for the Community Time Trial tomorrow.
They might, but others, if they're not time trialling, will have fresher legs. I think Foxy herself has fresher legs tonight.
We will find out. So will our yellow beacon be the one ripping it up? So on our way round the side of the volcano once again, back into the inside. As you can see from the map, all looking pretty smooth at the moment. It's really quiet on the chat.
It is, isn't it, actually, this evening? It's very, very quiet on the chat tonight.
Shall I think keep us some music? No, that's not. No viewers left. Okay, so the gang running in and through. Looks like pretty much everybody in on board. I
No
know.
cake chat.
Ah,
Yeah.
19 minutes 15 seconds, 18 seconds.
Now,
There we go.
Now, can I make the request that on the Donny Chaingang Facebook page, after last week's Wow DCG, we were discussing having a cake quiz or indeed a cheese quiz, some kind of food quiz. I wonder whether we could get that ready for indeed the last Wow DCG of this season, which would be at the end of March.
So we need somebody to volunteer and to send it over to us on email so that we can read the quiz out on the show.
Emma Gilbert, I think, is saying yes. I'm thinking cake rather than cheese.
Yes, do cake.
We need to do cake. You might throw the odd gin question in.
No.
All right, just cake.
No, in any alcohol. I'm going all temperance.
You are, aren't you?
I am. Temperance movement is a great man. In fact, they're single left, though. Depressing. But good. Anyway, totally random sci-fi there.
It is, isn't it? The group is rolling really well, you know.
And if anybody puts the Jaffa cakes in there.
No, that cannot be the first question. Is
Yes.
a Jaffa cake a cake or a
Yes.
biscuit?
Yes. And then we can decide, and in fact, you and me just argue about it on the way through. Cake, anyone? Yes, actually, I would like some cake today. I am feeling very need of cake. It's
Are
not,
you?
Yeah. Yeah, it might have something to do with slogging myself around in a blinking field for like about 9 hours today.
Matt's been cutting a few trees down, everybody.
I haven't cut trees down, excuse me.
Well, all right, branches.
Yes, I've been doing some tender loving care to some trees.
That's true.
I smashed the hell out of the Brabants.
Anyway, let's talk cycling, shall we?
It's great for the control on the mountain bike. My inner core stroke's going to be amazing.
Oh, fig rolls or biscuits?
Fig rolls. That's something I haven't had for ages.
Oh, clotted cream before jam or after?
How about controversial questions that are non-political and non-religious?
Yeah, but isn't one like the Cornish way of doing it and one like the
Devon.
Devon way of
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah, I can never.
Personally, I prefer the cream before the jam because if you try putting the cream on top of the jam, it tends to slide more than if you put the jam on the cream.
North or south? North. Always. Hey up, you're Donny Chaingang. What do you think it expects? Says the man whose parents has got a
They're
cockney.
both from
and
London.
Well, yeah. I've literally got a cockney. My dad is a cockney. He was born like within the sound of Bow Bells. And my mum was born in Kent, near Dartford Common, pretty much. Yeah, and I'm now probably about 1,000 miles south of Yorkshire. There you go. Could be worse. Could be on the wrong side of the Pennines, like Megan Boyd. Actually, I think Megan's closer to Liverpool. That doesn't count. That's not the wrong side of the Pennines. That's almost the coast. Let's face it. Right, up on to the helicopter. Everybody's on. Everybody's all together. It's a little stretched out, but nothing too drastic. And I know we were chatting, but there was a call to 3 watts per kilo that I know you didn't see. Probably went by in a blur. You know, now you're getting old and your reaction time's going.
I don't know. Well, one of the things that's really good about this route is every time you go through the rock arch, it tells you how many laps you've done.
It does. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you remember.
That
how
means you
many
don't
we're
have to
doing.
count.
That is a bonus.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and although it is going upwards rather than a countdown. Whereas if we had done this the other way around, we could have actually had a countdown on this, but we've done it so we have a walk down instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Much better option. It's there for a reason. On both the Donny Chaingang and on the WAM DCG. So, things to remember, guys, whilst we have what is the most controlled Chaingang ever in the world.com, things a little bit of housekeeping. So, across the bottom of your screen, you can see that we have 1080, Continental Velskin, we have Halo, Nonnas, Gritty, and OTE. They are the guys who look after the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. The Donny Chaingang Supporters Club all donate a month or all the way to the end of the season, And that literally allows us to keep the show on the road, to put all the extra internet lines in, all the hardware, the software, and all of the kit that makes all of this work, as well as spend all of that time. And of course, it also means that Russ is able to devote the time into looking after everybody as well. So, if you're feeling like you want to do something totally altruistic, then please, guys, donate.
Well, let's say it's not completely altruistic, is it? Because each of the sponsors do indeed have, we have giveaways from our sponsors monthly.
We
we also have discounts on our sponsors' products.
Indeed, so
1080 to the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club.
So for exclusive to members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, so 1080 are already not only the best place with the best advice, but with the best prices, and you get an extra discount on top if you're a member of the gang, and there's a code that goes out in the members' email. We also have 20% off Velo Skin. Most ambassadors give you 10%. We give you 20 because this is a chain gang, and we don't keep any of that. 'Cause that's kind of how we roll. Halo got 20% on their month, 10% standard. Gritty 20% all year, all the way through from Gritty, and a great giveaway as well. And OTE again 20% discount. And that 20% discount, it adds up, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does, particularly if you're regularly utilising OTE and buying kits and Gritty. And of course, Nonnas is, I think, coming up as our sponsor next month, isn't it?
It is indeed. We're going to be supported by Nonnas. I'm looking forward to see what Stefano Barelli is going to come up with for the giveaway. Always a haunt that is very, very popular with cyclists. Always has been. I would imagine always will be. I can't imagine a time when it's not going to look after cyclists. A regular haunt of everyone, including Dean and Russ Downing. Also, Connor and Ben Swift were regulars in there, along with lots of the Sheffield scene. The Donny Chaingang riders down there regularly, as well as ourselves down there occasionally. We don't go as regularly, so must
No,
admit.
that is very true. But of course, between now and Nonna's month, we have the Continental giveaway and 5 pairs of tyres.
We have now. They are a brand new tyre. They are brand spanking new. And let's let you into a little bit of a secret. They are a tyre that is perfect to go ride on a Donny Chaingang. They're a tyre that you could also ride for your training rides if you're wanting to put in some fast times. So we've traditionally had the 4-season, which is the armoured heavy-duty tyre. It doesn't roll as fast as something like a Grand Prix 5000. The Grand Prix 5000 is the fast, super-duper summer tyre. Loads of great race tyre, amazing to ride on. We use it through the summer. We use it on really nice roads. Not something I would want to take down necessarily a mat track or a Shaman, or even on the roads necessarily around Sheffield. And some of the Peak District ones are absolutely atrocious in a couple of spots at the moment. Now, if you want something that's fast and something that is pretty indestructible and sits in the middle, that's what's coming out. It is a mix of the two. It looks amazing. It's done in tan wall as well as being done as an all-black tyre. So we're going to have 25s and 28s available, and they are going to be there as an option. 5 pairs plus bidons from Continental as well. Well done, Jane.
Oh,
good to see
perfect
Jane.
timing, Jane.
Jumping back in. So that giveaway is going to be, in theory, tomorrow, and probably into Tuesday as well, because we've got 5 pairs to give away. That's a lot of time in giveaways. It's going to be done on a random number generator as normal with the members giveaway. So everybody who's a member of the DCG gang will be able to see that they're going to get a number. So if your name begins with Z, you're probably going to be first and number 1. If your name begins with A and double A, you're probably going to be last number. Everyone gets a number. The random number generator pulls a random number, and that is the winner. And 5 of those are in there. So let's see how that goes when we go in. It usually works absolutely spot on. We've got a little bit of work to set that up. In theory, it's going to be tomorrow. In practice, it might not be. It might be on Tuesday. But let's see how we get on tomorrow. just keep your fingers crossed it rains a lot tomorrow morning in France, in which case it'll all be ready for you tomorrow. If it's blazing sunshine, I might even go out on the bike, and I'm afraid you lot are going to be waiting for your tires till next week.
I can tell you, riders, it is not going to be blazing sunshine tomorrow.
It's 90-something% chance of rain, I do suspect, but we'll see. I've heard that before. So our gang all riding around well. Jane Halliwell in nicely. The gang are completely together, riding well at the moment, which is really good to see. No problems at all, really, other than the odd random dropout. Jane, get in touch with us. We can sort dropouts. Dropouts don't happen. It literally don't happen unless there's an issue with your kit. Dropouts are all to do with your kit and your internet and how it's set up. They're not to do with Swift. They're not to do with generally your processing. It's all to do with the setup. So if in doubt, give us a shout. We are always up for looking after people and running through what kit you've got. And it can be something as random as if you have a very well-known, very expensive set of Bluetooth setup and you run it at the same time as an Apple TV, you will find that you get dropouts like this tomorrow, because the Bluetooth is a limited connection. So if you're running on Apple TV, if you are lucky enough to have your Apple TV Zwift setup in a barn, aka Neil Mansfield, Caroline Mansfield, guess what? It's generally absolutely superb. But the moment you start putting other things in, it gets interesting. But there's all sorts of little tricks in the trade. And of course, we can make you go quicker as well, because we know how to minimise the time lag on your turbo. There is a way to decrease the time and make sure that you get as much speed out legal. You're not going to get caught by Zada. It is totally within the rules, but there are ways and means to do it. So it takes too long to explain how to do it and how to get that set up. But at the moment, it looks like everybody on this Chaingang doesn't need any kind of speeding up. They're all together.
No, it doesn't at all, does it? Look how well this group are rolling. And Maz, our red beacon, is just hovering around the back, taking a look and watching the group. It's fabulous, isn't it? This group is rolling really, really well. Everybody responding to our yellow beacon's calls for the pace. The pace sitting exactly where Lisa wants it and rolling really well.
So, whilst we are rolling around, have you noticed what lap we're on, by the way? No, me neither. Chat away. Not long till we get to the end of this lap. You can see the epic KOM in the distance at the far side of the riders there. The glass bridge riders came over onto the island behind them, but the riders about to go back in. Looks like Jane's got another issue with the dropout, and it's too late to go back out and back in. Hey, come on, Jane.
She's back. She's back.
Here she comes. She's all over the road. You've been drinking, Jane? Were you on the gin early? So, Jane won't be able to drop back in again. You can instantly see, I think, the pace has gone out. Mazda backing right off here. Jane Halliwell really putting the pressure on now. So, Jane, that looks like that is a miscommunication between your turbo trainer and your avatar unit. Get in touch.
So whilst you are busy just picking up Jane there, so dropping out there again, I'm reckoning this is the end of the fourth lap.
So there'll be 4 laps complete.
Which will mean 6 laps to go.
Have you been doing the math? You're going with Sandra. Okay, Sandra's been to start. Looking for the lap numbers. Lap number... No lap numbers. That's not helpful.
Oh, there's no lap numbers. That's shocking.
I know.
But it is. So let's have a look. 4. Yeah, end of lap 4. This is the start of lap 5.
Glad you can count, do maths, things like that. So let's have a look. Let's see how far Jane is. Oh,
17 seconds back. So Jane is 17 seconds back on the pack.
Got the red beacon waiting up. You see the red beacon there, just about to make out that beacon. So Sandra McKay offering to drop back as well. So we've got Maz there. To be honest, Sandra, I'm not sure she needs any help here. It's a very quick pace coming from Jane. I know the group's moving fast, but...
Oh, bless. Don't be silly. Ride on and enjoy.
That's what Red Beacon's here for.
Oh,
So
no,
look
Maz
after
is
you.
here. Maz is, look at that. And look at that. So whilst we have been chatting, the gap has been closed by 5 seconds. So Maz and Jane doing a fabulous job, and Jane's almost on Maz's wheel now, and Maz and Jane will work together to close that gap and bring it back to the pack.
Yeah, working together is going to give them the results. And this is where it's going to pay to be right in that slipstream. So we're going to let them start to head in. We're just going to take a little bit of a check across. Everybody looking good at the moment.
Yeah, this group looking really well at the moment, and sitting here and sitting in really nicely. So all our riders here, you can just see our red beacon in the background there in the distance, and Jane, I'm hoping, is now on that back wheel, so hoping those two are now together and bringing this back in.
So here we go, our riders on to the climb once again, repeatedly on this climb, which makes things very, very interesting indeed. As they come up, going to take this left hand turn, come sweeping around the bend here. So just going to take a little look at that gap. Looks like Jane is at 3.66. Nicholas Soden's gone back as well there, actually. So it's Nicholas Sodom and Maz ahead from the riders. And I think Nicola just dropping off the wheel of the red there just to give it a little bit extra support.
And that's one of the challenges at this point, isn't it, where the pace is at around 3 watts per kilo in the front. That pack move really well. In fact, look at that. Foxy now calling for a hold of 2.5 watts per kilo for 1 minute to allow these three to try and get back on now, because I was about to say at 3 watts per kilo, however hard these three try, it's going to be
It's a tough job, isn't it?
It is. It's a tough job to close that gap, and they are working, and they're working well. But it is a tough ask.
Definitely. So here we go. You can just see the three riders on the way through. They need to pick a pace and sit on it. So here we go. They've got themselves in together. They're going to be
Brilliant.
on the way through. So 3 riders together. Now, if they work together, they get this pacing just right. They're going to be flying. Our camera would pick them up inside the volcano. Here we go.
Yeah.
Just sitting in with Jane Halliwell at the moment, who's been working to get in to those wheels. Like Yellow Beacon, not much distance between this group and the yellow on the way through.
No, and we've got a couple of riders now slipping off the back of the group. Izzy Torrey is just off the back of the group. These riders are now waiting for the 3 to come in and will help pick up the tow. It's almost like dropping breadcrumbs. They are dropping and leaving breadcrumbs behind the pack for the 3 riders to pick up as they ride back on, and then they will give them an additional draft as that train comes in.
Yeah, looking like they're on the way. Nick Soden, Nicola in here. It's going to be Jane Halliwell. It's going to be Maz Hairfront. They're the 3 riders behind. They're about to pick up Izzy Torrey. We know that there's going to be some serious pace added when Torrey is in with this group as well. And she's got to watch that she doesn't rip the legs off these riders, really. That's one of the perils, isn't it? When you're a stronger rider, it's going to be very interesting now. It's looking very close, about 5 seconds, and now this is going to be very, very tight indeed. I think they're going to be
cracking job
on.
being
Look at
done by
that.
our red beacon at the moment, and this pack, and this work that everybody here has done. Nicholas Soden dropping back, Izzy Torrey dropping back, the tail on this group at the moment,
Yeah,
helping to bring
Fletcher
all
going
these
back
riders
here
in.
as well.
Fletcher's gone back, and now look at that, we bring all of these riders in, and in fact it's our yellow beacon who is now bringing up the rear. So absolutely amazing job by everybody, and outstanding train and work by the group there to bring that back in.
Nicely done, gang. Very good.
Textbook.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, now they need a recovery period. Sit
And that's
in.
the tricky bit. Yeah, sit in, don't do any work. That's generally my generally. Never mind now, right? Woof. Here we go. So, 39 minutes, 16 seconds currently on the clocks. 22.7k covered at the moment. Our riders doing the business. I'll tell you who we didn't mention. The one and only, well, we did mention it, but we didn't actually show it. It's Emma Gilbert. Emma, of course, the rider who seems to manage to get a new FTP at every single Chaingang.
She's been getting stronger and stronger and stronger all winter.
I'll tell you something, I'm quite glad that we don't ride out on the roads with Emma, because I think she'll be like ripping my legs off like everywhere, because the power to weight ratio and the power, absolute power, is just phenomenal. And the rider that joined the gang not all that long ago, he's definitely not the same rider that we keep on seeing now from Emma. I mean, brilliant, brilliant improvement.
Oh, her progression has been fantastic and so good to see. A lot of hard work going into that as well, though, Matt. So just
yeah,
results.
It's not like you just can buy it or anything. I'm like kidding. Emma is a machine. Yes, not a sewing machine either, or a washing machine. What other machines can you think of? Printing press. That doesn't work because it's got the same machine at the end.
She's a cycling machine.
She's an FTP improvement machine.
That's very true.
She's an FTP improvement machine every time. Absolutely scary stuff. Brilliant to see. But that's the aim of the game. That's the aim of the Chaingang, the ramp workout that's been so successful, and getting riders quicker, faster.
And doing it in a fun way too.
Well, it's got to be fun, otherwise what's the point doing it?
Oh, completely and utterly. How to get, it's like a hidden way of getting stronger. Come and talk about cake and gin, ride your bike with some mates, and get a new FTP every week as well.
Yeah, that sounds quite good.
Doesn't it?
Apart from the talking about the gin bit. I'll talk about cake all day long. Gin's terrible, it's horrible. Have cake and coffee instead.
Each to their own.
Yes, true. Right. Well, everybody's back together again.
They are indeed, and look at that, still rolling and rolling strongly. So we are currently at 24.1k now.
Yeah, Riso in here, seeing Anglo on the way through, just watching the pace in here. Got Suter still tucked in. It's just getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and that is the aim of the game. So whilst Emma counts on the fingers and toes to work out what lap we're on, because she hasn't written it down. Normally Emma has a chart with like every lap distance on the way through, but she hasn't actually done it today.
You mean I've not done my prep today?
No, well, I didn't spring it on you that you were talking at lastminute.com.
It's very true, and you are quite right. Normally I have a massive long list of all the points on the on the ride or the race. Once you've DS'd a Zwift ride and a Zwift race, you realise how good it is to have that information in front of you.
I have that when I'm racing. Always.
But I haven't got
always
it tonight.
Used to, always still do. Just, know the distances, know the splits, tape it on the top of your top tube, tape it on your stem, whatever works for you. Know what you're up to. Know how long you've got, and then when your water bottle falls out halfway through, then you know exactly just how far you've got to crawl back to the race HQ. Had that happen a few times. Teach me to buy lightweight enough titanium cages way back in when I was proper racing. As in, getting my head kicked in for points. Well, looking good once again. Looks like Matt's been working hard here, keeping the back of the gang together. As they come through, Izzy Torrey tucked in here as well. Megan is Kay in here, Helen Backhouse. Looks like Upton in Fletcher. Everybody all together, 43.37. Emma's just currently doing some more maths again for some reason. It's probably working out how much pocket money I want.
Really?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, into the volcano we go. This rider is sort of looking after itself a little bit.
It is, it's amazing, isn't it? So all of our riders still together at the moment. So all 26 riders here in this group, all together, all rolling well and rolling strongly. So Lisa Jane Late, our yellow beacon, keeping control of this group. Maz Heffron has been doing an amazing job as red beacon, dropping back and bringing riders back into the group with the help of others in this team. And all still together. We are 44 minutes into the WOW DCG and we are rolling as one tight pack. I'm looking at this thinking we are coming up to the end of lap number 6.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Although you do have the slight left, the tighter right, a little chicane, then right past the glass bridge, round to the right, underneath the tunnel, into the volcano, around the sweeping left and up into the lap to go. It's sad. I need to get out.
You can, I can't get over how you, and Tim as well, both have memories that are just, you can call a course or call a lap.
It's very handy when you commentate because you can remember what the course is
Well,
like.
it's not very handy when you're racing and you can't remember what's coming up next in the lap in front of you.
Yeah. it's words like goldfish spring to mind.
Yeah, I am. I've got a 4-second memory. I don't know how many people have ridden around Sherwood Pines Mountain Bike Centre for as long as I have, nigh on 20 years, and still can't remember where the red goes.
20? Maybe that nearer 25. Okay. Fox is still controlling this. 45 minutes in, 26.5k. Remember, what number are we looking for, Emma, when we hit the finish? 43.8.
3.8.
43.8, it's not bad. 43.8, 43.9.
So 43.8 will indeed be the finish line today, and then there's a 1.1 kilometre warm down to 45k, and that's where the blue banner will turn up.
Your maths is
That's wrong, isn't it? There should have been a 2 in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's not. It'll come at 0.9. What it is actually, because it's a short course, is dependent on whether you're going to use Velo Viewers numbers, Zwift hacks, or Zwift Insiders. The slight difference, because it's basically you only need to for it to be 0.1 out on 10 laps, and you're okay out.
Yeah. Well,
by the end of the 10 laps.
We won't talk about the day that I used Zwift hacks and you used Zwift Insider for the same course, and we had completely different numbers because both of those sites for a particular course have completely different numbers on them.
Lethal.
It is indeed. By about 4k it's out as well.
Yeah, it's always
It's a phenomenal amount out. It always causes a panic in the commentary box because we always sit there and go,
and the studio.
Yep.
And
I can confirm the shorter distance is correct.
How'd you know that?
Because the last time we put Leith Hill on the Donny Chaingang, I double checked.
I thought you meant like 40.
No, not tonight. I was talking about the differences in the Leith Hill on Zwift Insider and Zwift Hacks.
I hate to break it to you, there's no volcano on Leith Hill. Gareth Mason would have a very hot back garden.
Look at this. Look, I'm talking about a hot back garden. Look at that yellow and that red beacon, that tunnel of light reflecting through the volcano, all in this pack. It is absolutely on fire.
Every pun intended, I guess. So, heading out in between the glowing red rocks, heading down into the descent, down towards the sand, and down along the edge of the shoreline. The riders at the moment looking pretty smooth on the descent. The conversation has eased off somewhat as the pace is picking up a little bit. This ramp continues, and those heart rates are steadily climbing. It's not just about the pace picking up, it's also about that time, the attrition over the distance. 48 minutes, 28k in, and remember, quite some way still to the finish to go.
Yes, but there might be quite some way, over 15k and just under 16k. to go. So I think tension's getting tight there in that pack. The chat has finished. Everybody is waiting to see what's happening. And I think we are all looking to our yellow beacon at the moment as to see what she is going to do tonight.
So apologies if you've been watching and our screens have been playing silly whatsits on the way through. Not quite sure how that's decided to do that. We may well have had an update mid-ride, which does happen and is an absolute pain in the posterior. Not sure how long it's been doing that, but there you go. Hopefully not all that long. There's a reason why we lock all of the screens up before we set off on the ride, but you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't stay locked.
Yes, and we're just moving up, and that pack just stretched a little bit there, and the back of the group just stretched out a bit as we are moving through now.
So just taking a little bit of a look at the back. Looks like that bus may well be forming here. Looks like Wanda at the moment. Elizabeth Wonder and Maz Hevron just working the way back in again. The pace is pretty hot stuff here today.
Yeah, and currently on this climb at 5% at the moment, so it is indeed winding itself up now because it is getting to that time of the evening.
What time would that be?
Well, it's... I'm sorry, I'm half
three
talking...
3 Gs, 3 Os, not necessarily in that order.
Yeah.
How many ways can you say the trigger point without actually saying the words?
No, I was looking at the concept of a Malibu and Coke.
It's, do you know what it is? The trigger point is og, the other way around.
Is it?
Yeah.
Malibu and pineapple. Malibu and Coke. God, my friend who I went to, well, one of my housemates who I lived with at university used to drink Malibu and Coke.
That's very sad.
No, it's party time. Malibu and pineapple, Malibu and Coke.
I was at Northern, I drank Guinness. And bitter. Right.
I used to drink some, I can't remember what it used to be called, a Blast Away. A bottle of Castaway and a bottle of Diamond White, all in the same pint glass.
Drink responsibly, folks. Okay.
I haven't drunk that, I have to admit, since I left university.
It's probably a good thing. Right, in with Izzy and Tori at the moment, coming round. How many laps will we have complete when we get to classy?
Yep, Joanne Lee, I was indeed a classy undergraduate. I have to admit, by the time I did my PhD, I had progressed a little.
What had you gone on to Baby Sham?
No, oh, Baby Sham. Honestly, I don't think I've ever actually drunk a Baby Sham.
You're not missing much.
No.
I have.
I've got visions now, everyone, of Matt sitting with a Baby Sham.
I walked into a pub in Seacroft and ordered one, which right in the worst part. It was very interesting. Okay, so coming in to the business end, to quote Foxy, good phrase. Let's get those power ups going. So, the bus is formed. Ding ding, all aboard. The red bus is formed and rolling, and ready to collect passengers on the way through.
Yeah, and look at the pace of this group now. The pace of this group just sitting under 40 kph at the moment. Tori did indeed join us late this evening. She's got 35, coming up to 36 minutes on her clock, but around 52 minutes on everybody else's clock and 30.8 kilometres. So we are looking now at around 13 kilometres to the finish now today.
2.5 laps. Okay. Sure, we're going in towards the lap banner.
Yeah, but as we discussed earlier, the
Oh, you've done your maths right.
the lap counter is not working. Do you know what? It's terrible, isn't it, when...
You can't add up, yes. It's 2 laps to go. Must be. Can't be 3. Maybe it is 3. It's 3.
Oh no, Jane!
Same place.
Oh my gosh, my... Oh.
Come on, Jane.
Oh, she's back up. She's back up. She's back up. Come on. Come on, Jane. Come on.
Where?
No.
Nope. Gone completely. Matt and Emma are thinking of dinner. No, actually, I had a very nice French lentil casserole, actually. I've had my dinner. We're an hour ahead, remember?
Oh, Jane, ever so sorry that that's happened.
Jane, talk to us. Give us a phone call. Message us. We will sort your dropouts. Like magic.
Anyway, she gets to tune in now and watch the finish.
You do, indeed, because we're on 54 minutes. Join us next week for the route that is...
We're at Crit City next week. We're on
Are we
Downtown
really?
Dolphin.
Oh my gosh.
Crit City.
I can
Yes.
make it easy or what? Right, okay, so Crit Downtown Dolphin. Dolphin-esque fluidity required for the Downtown Dolphin. And next week, how many laps are we doing, do you know?
Oh, off the top of my head, I can't
Lots.
tell you. Lots.
Yeah, lots is a good word. Excellent. Downtown Dolphin. One of my favourite courses. By a mile.
I'm going to write you a sheet, Matt, with the distance at the end of every lap.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I really want to ride that one too.
Oh. Okay. I know it's for the tricky ones. You're just going to like the crit. You're just going to leave me to it. Thanks. Nice to have a co-host that's so supportive. Well, it's going to get really tricky. Let's leave you to it. Okay.
Oh, we got a little push coming on the front. This pace is picking up here, you know, Matt.
It
Our
is.
Yellow Beacon's picking up the pace. The riders are going with it as well because they are all on tender hooks at the moment.
I'll tell you something. It's a late call today.
It is indeed, and it's been held really tight
Do you
as
know
a
what?
pack.
Do you know what's going to happen? It's just going to explode because there's not far to go.
There isn't far to
10K.
go at all.
10k.
Yeah.
There is 10k to the finish. Maybe 11.
11.
11k. I told you, that's not my strong point. Not after I've spent all day with the chain for
We've just spent the whole commentary confusing the riders.
I know, it's great, isn't it? There's
Apologies,
44
everybody.
laps to go. You've got 95 kilometers. No, you haven't. Okay. They'll learn to listen to you. For
Okay,
once, not
let me confirm. The finish is at 43.9 kilometres.
43.9, which means we have 10.9. Excuse me. You can tell I was up at 5 o'clock this morning French time. It's 4 o'clock in the UK.
Yeah, well, yeah, Matt is easily confused. I can agree with that.
Easily. I'm hoping that was I'm. Yeah, M is easily confused. You're not wrong. I have to work with them.
Oh.
Right, so the Chaingang rolling well. Listen, I've got the mute button. You watch it. Nicola Soden makes her way around here. We're just in with Nicola coming round the turn, just riding in with Emma Gilbert.
Hey, and the go
And the
has
so
gone.
Here we are. Go. It is go time. Oh, look at this. Somebody's been watching. They know what to do. Look at this. This is a move here. So Sina Hagsel has gone very quickly and dropped the burrito. Get in there. This could be a really fast move because remember, of course, we are on limited distance. Now, who's got the power to get across? Soden is on her way here, and Soden could just drag these up. But look at the back of the group as well, because behind that power there by Sina Hogsell has just done some damage. Sandra McKay is scrabbling for the wheel. She might just about make it. Looks like Adele Suster is going to help Pip more for company and Megan Boyd. And
Izzy Torrey.
Izzy, are you having a nice easy ride or something? What's going on? It's not like Izzy. Maybe she's done some seriously hard training. Izzy, we know, capable of taking wins on the WOW DCG. Not going to be today with that pace, but look at this. It looks to me like we've got a new contender. Never mind, I could have been a contender. This is a definite contender here because look at Hogsdell. She's really got Sina Hogsdell opening up the gap and holding them off at the moment.
Absolutely brilliant way to ride the event today, and really going from the gun there and going from the go with a great set of orange numbers to form the gap. I think Soden is slowly bringing this group back. The group are not panicking, they are all together, and there is still a big group there, Matt, all coming back and closing Housdale down.
One of the things to remember, of course, there's a lot of very experienced riders who have ridden and raced extensively on Zwift, plus of course out on the roads, and also have done lots of WOW DCGs. They know how much effort they need to put in to pull somebody back, and they know not to panic. That is absolutely key. So seeing riders start to get distanced off the back of this group, looks like Emma Gilbert, the rider tucked in at the moment. Upton is in there as well. It's Tori, Boyd and Co who are off the back of this group. Good to see that Lindsay Clark nicely tucked in here. Vicky Jones, and I tell you, Vicky Jones is one of the smartest riders that we have on the Chaingang. And I don't say that lightly, but note where Vicky is. Sat in the draft. This is draft master herself, I tell you. She's absolutely cool as a cucumber, and I would not want to play any kind of cards with that one, because she must have the best poker face ever.
I also have to say I am loving seeing the numbers and the time on each lap come down and down and down, and the confetti every lap. That is the first lap sub 6 minutes.
Wow, that's motoring now, 5:59.5 as they come through. I mean, look at the top of the leaderboard. It's so tight on the way through. Interestingly, Soda with the 5:58.8. And that's because she went from the back of the group to the front.
Yeah, and she did that work towing the group back on and making the catch. But look at this. This is still a large group of riders, Matt, and they are motoring.
Yeah, absolutely flying. And we're going into the descent. Has anybody picked up an anvil, I wonder? And if you did, would you save it for the next time down this descent? Or would you use something else? I think if somebody's got a ghost, that would just be superb.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Fletcher is in this group as well, and we know the power Fletcher can put out in a sprint.
Indeed.
So there's some really interesting riders in this group, and it's going to be fabulous to see what tactics come out to play with such a large group of riders still in at this point.
Yeah, it's looking very interesting. Josie Park tucked in here as well. You got Joanne Lee in here. You got Helen Backhouse, Isla Easto. Emma Gilbert in. It really is a who's who. Lizzie Clark. Apologies if I missed anybody out on the way through. I'm trying not to. Claire Crabtree in here. And Claire, again, another rider. We talk about riders getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Claire, another rider. I mean, we know. I know Claire from Yorkshire, riding really strongly. And back to racing again. Really good to see.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And that blue jersey of Fletcher's has not left the back of the group for a while now, Matt.
Nope. Going to be interesting to see how they go on to the climb. Is anybody going to put in a big dig here? You can see the fire socks are in. I'm looking with our camera up over the top as Cena Hugstall goes up. Look at that, very quickly marked out by Vicky Jones in the big ring, quite literally up that climb. She goes in and through, marking that out. So is Upton. These riders, they are very close together. There's nothing to choose between them at the moment. And it's not going to be long until we hit the line for the penultimate time.
Yeah, and Gilbert is there, Foxy, our yellow beacon is here, Upton is here, Clark, Housdale, Jordan, Crabtree, Backhouse, Jones, Park, Lee, Soden, Easto. You know, this is a big group still, and they are still putting out some strong power and riding well.
They are indeed, and I've got to say, you can see as they come around here that they are back across the road again. The pressure's gone out a little bit here, and I think there's a little bit of thinking going on at the moment. You can almost hear the cogs whirring at the moment. I think they need a bigger jockey wheel and the cogs in the brains at the moment just to keep things moving smoother, because they've got to be quick with these decisions at the moment. Everybody's sat thinking, when am I going to go? Do I need to mark somebody? Do I need to save any energy for the sprint, or do I wait? because this is not a tricky point. We've got a little riser coming up as you come out from the volcano here, and this is a nasty little moment where you can really push. So you come around this right-hand turn, the road rises, and this is a nice place to put a little bit of pressure on people. You can just see it in front of the riders when you come around the right-hand turn. It will kick upwards slightly, and you can really just do some damage to the riders. But at the moment, nobody is feeling the pressure. We're not seeing anybody come off the back. It's only 1%, but it all counts when you come up around these little rises now. At the moment, the gang together. Who's going to go? Is anybody going to blink and put the pressure on? It's holding together at the moment.
It is holding together, and this is lap number 9. So this is the penultimate lap of the event this evening. So this group all riding around and pushing on together, riding strongly and keeping the pace high. Currently rolling at around 40 kph, 1 hour and 4 minutes now of the WOW DCG under the wheels. And when they come through the rock arch this time, it will be one more lap to go.
It will indeed be one more lap to go. The last ronda. We have the last lap of the Gritty, the crosscaster to record with Neil from Gritty. That's going to be coming up fairly shortly. We've just got to make plans. The calendar is now being launched of the Cyclocross World Cup. Really interesting to see those rounds and where we're going to be heading for those and the World Championships. We always say the last part of the show is the last run of what it's going to be. The last run, it's going to be the last lap. One more lap to go when it hits at the top. This time round, this little kicker here, 6% as you come into the volcano. A nasty little finish as you come in because it levels and then it kicks once again. The riders are going well. Let's see if they can finish this off in style. Are we going to see a late attack? Where would you go here, Emma? What would be your plan?
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because a long attack now. So these laps are running sub 6 minutes. So it is now sub 6 minutes until we get to the finish of the WOW DCG. Now, is someone going to go long or is somebody going to wait? And is this going to come to a sprint?
Well, the lap time didn't improve that time round.
Yeah.
The fastest time was 5:58.8 by Soden, and watching all of those times, nobody improving on their times through there. So I don't think the riders changing. Just riding in with Ursula Jordan, one of the riders, but didn't actually feature earlier on. Jordan again going for a proper full-on aero bike. Good move here, but lighter wheels in here. So just coming in, going to be taking this right-hand turn, this drop down. Now, this is where you have the option to really put the pressure on the lighter riders even. Put my teeth back in again. So if you're a bigger runner, you can power down here and give people a hard time. But it's looking like
people are taking it easy, you know, Matt, on this downhill section. 1.6 watts per kilo there. So taking it steady, but the power now starting to ramp up a little bit. We're seeing Jordan hit around 3.5 watts per kilo, but there's not a lot. I think they're all looking at each other at the moment.
They are, but we are going to come in. Now, I would go, personally, I wouldn't leave it to a sprint. I would be going on this next climb. And it's so predictable, but you know what? If you put in a sprint on the next climbing section up around that right-hand hairpin, around the left hairpin and the little riser into the volcano, you then can go out of sight, out of mind very quickly indeed. I've seen so many race winning moves go, mostly ahead of me, sadly. So this is where we're talking about. We're coming up to the old wreck of a boat. We're going to keep our camera up above, watching like a hawk to see those numbers. In we come. Now comes the kicker. This is the right-hand turn. Is anybody going to be brave here?
Yeah.
Are they all watching each other?
They are. We've got 2.9 kilometres to go now, and everybody is looking at each other. Though I've got a 6.3 watts per kilo in there. Someone is kicking to start to move away, but it is indeed... it's a tactic rider going. It's Soden who's moving forward and coming to the front of the bunch, and she's pushing on. Upton's in 2, Backhouse in 3. So Soden is the one taking up the mantle and stretching this group out now.
Well, Soden has opened up the gap. Then it's Upton. Then it's Haugsdal, followed by Fletcher Park. And you can see Haugsdal, I think, has just gone for the move across and dropped a burrito on the way through here. They come over the rise. It's going to be a trio of riders with a slight gap back at the moment into the volcano. So it's Haugsdal, it's going to be Upton and Soden who are clear, with Lee, Park, Easto, Fletcher keeping on chasing Backhouse, Foxy in there, Vicky Jones. The leading three have got 3 seconds. So 3 riders, 3 seconds clear. There's a lot less than 3K to go.
Yeah, and it's Foxy who is indeed our yellow beacon, who's trying to close that down now. 2 seconds to her. That group are coming. So Soden, Haugsdal and Upton, here are our 3 riders away. They are 3 riders away, but they are 2 seconds. 2 seconds is all they've got. And Park and Lee, Fletcher and Gilbert are the ones doing the chasing here. And I think they're going to come across this gap because they are working really hard to close it down.
Well, look at those, that cadence, nearly 100 revs per minute coming out from Josie Park here. Absolutely class act, Josie Park, and showing just how quick she is. Looks like Joanne Lee nicely in this mix as well. Look at this. Joanne Lee is absolutely motoring here. She's helping bring this group back. Now Vicky Jones comes up towards the front. The trio are just about holding on. We're running out of road though. We're at 42.4. Remember, we all know where that banner is. It's in the volcano. We're going to keep going the right-hand turn here, and they are going to come back together. Perfect counter-attack time. If anybody's feeling brave, if anybody wants to go for another attack, the moment you bring them back,
straight
now
up
is the
and
time
over
to
the
go.
top.
But at the moment, I don't think anybody's feeling that they've got the legs to do this. It's wound and it's wound, and it sometimes means that people just don't have the legs to go clear. Just seeing Fletcher there, I thought she was teeing up to go from the back to the front there, and I'm not sure who our money should be on here when it comes into this final sprint. This really is a who's who of riders in here.
It is going to be a final sprint because we have 900 metres to go until we get to that banner. So 900 metres to go until we see the rock arch. We see that final section of this WOW DCG, and this is a large group of riders all sweeping round these bends together.
They are indeed that. I tell you something, this is going to be awfully close here today. Who's got the power, who's got the pace, and now you're seeing Crabtree has gone for this. Crabtree has pushed on, but Haugsdal is coming. She's got some power. Has she got enough? She could well take this. It could be a maiden win here today because Haugsdal is opening up the sprint here, and she's got this surely, Emma. It's coming, and it's coming quick. It's going to be a win. It's going to be Sina Haugsdal takes it.
And Fletcher comes in second place.
Soden in third, Park in fourth, Jordan in fifth, Upton in sixth. We're going to let you do the muscle on the way through. Look at the time. Fastest lap time, a 5-minute 51-second lap. That was blisteringly quick.
Yeah, what a last lap and what a finish. I think it's going to be Torrey who's going to be our next rider in. So Izzy Torrey is coming in next.
Going to be after Lindsay Clark. Lindsay Clark on the climb now, coming up the slope in underneath the gantry. Well done, Lindsay. Sat right in with the group until the last few moments. Then it's going to be Torrey, as Emma said, who just coming into the volcano there. And Torrey not staying with the leaders to the end there. So good riding by Izzy, but not able to stay with that leading group. Then it's going to be Pip Morn, who I think has got a gap. She's solo.
Yeah, she is indeed. She's got a 14-second gap on Solster by the look of it. And then McKay, 1 minute 20 back.
So Pip Morn currently in, then it's Solster, then it's going to be McKay, then it's going to be Mass and Co. Just going to try and get into the riders out on course without jumping in to the others all the way through. Basically, our avatars will hop between the where the course gets close together in the volcano, because the physical distance on the map, or the distance on the map is shortest, we can hop from one side of the volcano to the other rather than going backwards on the way round. So here we go, Pip Morn, our next rider coming in towards the turn into that volcano. Here she comes. This is the run in for the finish.
Yep, so as Morn comes in, she sees that fire, she sees that red walls of those volcano, and she goes round that corner, and she will shortly see the arch banner that is the finish line today. So here comes Pip Morn. It's going to be our next rider in tonight.
And Pip sitting at just sub 4 watts per kilo. Final kick. Come on, Pip, all the way to the line. This is that big kick in here. So here she comes. It's going to be Pip Morn who's going to finish this off here today. Great riding on the way out through. So Pip going to be our next finisher on the WOW DCG. Then we've been only Wednesday's Donny Chaingang. We're going to drop back to our next rider. This is going to be Adele Souster. So Souster currently on her way up the climb into that gantry, and she's going to be our next rider in to complete the distance with just that warm down to go.
Yeah, and another rider riding really strongly on these last sections before she gets to that rock arch. And then you're right, Matt, there is a 1.1 kilometre warm down. So a 1.1 kilometre warm down to spin those legs out to the blue event banner.
Okay, let's take a little bit of a run back, because I think our next rider should be Sandra McGee. So Sandra's going to be our next rider coming through. Sandra riding for that tactics squad. Then behind it's going to be Maz and Elizabeth, who are making the way in through the volcano. So they've basically just got the outer loop section to do. They're not all that far behind, but Sandra McKay coming into her last section of volcano.
Yeah, and it was indeed around 44-45 minutes before that red bus formed tonight, Matt, so they are not too far behind at all. So 2 minutes back to the red bus as we see McKay here coming in for the tactic race team. She's coming into those final corners, and she is going to see that finish arch very shortly.
Come on, Sandra, last the push in for the line. You can see 195 watts, now over 200. This is the last little kick here. Come on, get it all out there. There's training to be had. There's training effect to be getting the benefit of. And here comes Sandra McKay, 4.7, 5.5, well over 300 watts here. Nice kick there by Sandra McKay to come in and through the line.
So we drop back in with our red beacon and 2 riders on the bus tonight.
It is indeed. It's a minibus.
Yeah, a Diddy bus.
It could be an open-top cabriolet bus with
it
2
could be.
riders. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Get a little bit
Oh,
more
it could
sunshine.
be a red Escort cabriolet.
Now you're showing your age.
I know.
Other people will say
Or a
MX-5.
Golf GTI.
Well, you're also showing your southern lack of class as well, because other people would say a Fiat Barchetta, or if
well,
they wouldn't be cheap, or a nice Ferrari, or Lotus.
I was going retro.
You're going flipping chav. I don't know. Right, so our next 2 riders on the way in. It is Elizabeth Wonder with Maz Heffron. They're going to come in around this right-hand turn. Great riding here by this duo, and good to see Elizabeth on the Chaingang tonight. They're going to be doing the final push into that volcano with Maz. And great riding by Elizabeth on the standard Zwift bike there. So just making her way around, having to put all this extra watts in. If you don't have aero wheels, aero frame, you are working harder on the way through.
Oh, yes, you are indeed. And often 20 watts you can give away. So imagine just by your bike, you're giving away 20 watts on the group. So to stay in that group, you need to produce 20 watts more than somebody on a different bike. That's really significant over the course of an hour.
It is. So just shows you just how impressive this ride by Elizabeth Wonder is. Elizabeth is going to see the banner coming up in front. There's the archway. It will be finished when you hit the line this time, and then there'll be a warm down into the finish. So Elizabeth Wonder will be our next rider coming in to the finish. Let's track Elizabeth in. Maz, the red beacon goes through underneath. We're going to track across to Maz in a second, but Elizabeth Wonder, our next finisher on the WOW DCG, so just a spin down to do. We're going to jump in alongside Maz. Another great job done by Maz, our red beacon. Got to say, on the DCG and the WOW DCG, our red beacons are absolutely invaluable.
Oh, they are indeed. They do an absolutely sterling job, and you know, they do it with absolute pleasure, enjoyment, and fun.
Definitely. So thank you very much to Maz on the way round. So as our riders make the way off into the distance, it's been a cracking night tonight, Emma.
It has indeed. It's been a great night, and what a great effort here on the Volcano circuit. I really liked that.
I know you just like this circuit, let's face it. you said that far too many times tonight. So as Maz makes her way in towards the finish, let's dive out and leave her to get to that final banner in peace. So, quick reminder from me. Please, guys, remember, if you've got a few quid spare, drop it in that tin, get the donation done. Don't forget, we are going to reward you. All the guys up there with discounts looking after you as members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. And all we ask, just stick those donations in for a month. It means that we can look after our riders. If you do have tech issues, don't hesitate to get in touch with me, Matt Payne, with Emma. We really do love helping out people. We wouldn't do this otherwise. So please, guys, get in touch. Now, Emma, get off social media.
Just messaging our red and yellow beacons saying thank you.
Give us a quick summary of tonight and what you think the difference will be between tonight and tomorrow.
Oh, now, tonight was the Volcano circuit. It was laps, it was a group, and it was fast, and it came down to a sprint. Tomorrow is going to be completely the opposite. There's a huge amount of hill, and it goes up, and it goes up, and it goes up, and it is going to spread, and it is going to be ones and twos all over the place.
Well, let's see whether your prediction is correct. Thank you very much for joining me in the studio, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, will do indeed.
So from me, Matt Payne, from Emma, from Lisa Jane Lake, from Matt, from Rustin, from all of the gang, make sure you give us a follow on social media. Hit up all of those tags at Matt Fix Payne, at Biking Emma, at Full Speed Events, at Downing Cycling, and at Russ Downing. And of course, make sure that you go onto the Facebook page for the Donny, for the Donny Chaingang. You can tell I need more coffee, or maybe I just need ice cream, or maybe I'm going to have both. Well, whichever way you're going to do it, whatever your cake, gin, or food you're heading for now to do your recovery, enjoy. We will see you again. We're back tomorrow with the Donny Chaingang, and we are in Bologna. Oh my goodness, it's going to be an Italian classic, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.